Welcome to this new and special edition of the Queer God Squad. We are the coolest pastors you'll ever meet.
Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ plus community. Survey shows that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ plus community.
So, the Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community, explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
And we are going to explore if we can find some places that help heal the pain and hurt that religion can be responsible for. We know you are going to find some hope, peace, and fun in our conversation.
It's 3 p.m. and the Queer God Squad is broadcasting daily.
This is live, and then we are available on demand.
We are available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube, and Facebook.
In the entire world, nothing like this has ever existed for the LGBTQ plus community before.
I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am the Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the Executive Minister here at the Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education at Sunshine Cathedral.
Radical GOP and evangelicals have launched a culture war on our LGBTQ plus community. They want to push you back into the closet. We're not going.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we are here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Our commitment in partnering with Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight is to give the LGBTQ plus faith community this voice for change, for hope that you are not alone.
Happening Out Television Network is a 501c3 nonprofit media platform in the television and radio model of PBS and NPR, but designed for our LGBTQ plus community. The Queer God Squad is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America. Excuse me. Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ plus community, including the Black community, Latino, lesbian and queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, justice, business, and our 10th pillar is faith. Help us support our LGBTQ plus community.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. New AI may help Catholics find God. A U.S. entrepreneur, Matthew Sanders, says a new artificial intelligence project that his company has founded could be a game changer for the Catholic Church. The founder and CEO of Longbeard said that the core objective of the company was to make Catholic insight and church teaching available to anyone in the world on any device in a native language. Longbeard is a U.S.-based software company that has created Mag-i-sterium AI, a growing data set of church documents and algorithms. Currently, experimental Sanders told the registry that the Mag-i-sterium AI is aimed primarily at form-ators and teachers of the faith, helping priests enrich their homilies, facilitate catechism classes, and to assist parents in catechizing their children. Among services, Mag-i-sterium AI creators say it can answer any question on church teaching, practices, or other topics, helping to explain complex theological, philosophical, and historical concepts in simple, understandable language. Questions and answers can also be given in multiple languages, including French, Spanish, Portuguese, and German. And they have plans to create a user community where people can upvote new features and provide suggestions on documents to train our AI on. Legionary Father Michael Baggot, Professor of Bioethics at
the Pontifical Regina Aposto-lorum Ath,
thank you, voice of God, and a collaborator on the project, said that he believes many people will find the question and answer format engaging and appreciate the concise response. Lord have mercy.
ChatGPT is prone to a few problems, even though it's a wondrous technology. One of them is hallucinating, which basically means it has a tendency to make things up. And that happens with technologies, like especially when you're training on such a large swath of the internet. So one of the distinctions between Mag-i-sterium AI and ChatGPT is our AI is trained on a private database of church documents. And so we're able to kind of rein in the hallucination to a large extent, for the most part. Of course, there's work being done every day to try and minimize any kind of bugs. But for the most part, it's been performing really well.
You know, I don't know where this is going to lead, but I'll just say for me and my seminary experience, I appreciated a book in my hand. I appreciated going to the library. I appreciated flipping through pages. I appreciated just doing the exegetical hermeneutical work myself on my own studying and preparing. And it takes a whole new meaning to now sit down and say, computer, A, B, C, and D. And it writes a paper for me, or it writes a sermon for me, or it writes this something. To me, that somehow takes away what I want to put into whatever it is I'm speaking about, or I'm writing about, or I'm talking about. I'm sure this would be great on some catechism level, but sometimes old school is just old school with me, and that's just what I prefer.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's probably better in some ways because there's an entire database at your disposal, so they're going to have all the facts. And so for a catechetical lesson or for a homily or for speech or for paper, it might be better. It might have more accurate and good stuff in it. But these things, so much of teaching and learning and sharing and preaching is relational.
Right.
Thank you. Yes.
Like, I think it would be better to be less smart, but in my voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like to come from my heart and to your heart. And unless I'm a guest preacher, we probably have some sort of a relationship, and I'll know how to speak to you, or what maybe this community needs right now, or how they need to be challenged or need to be encouraged. And so maybe if you're just ever desperate, it would be a way to get you through a hump for that minute. Or maybe if you just didn't know something, it'd be a way to get you some information. But I hope it doesn't replace the voice. There's something about the voice, your voice, not a voice, but there's something about your personal contribution as a human to the experience. And I wouldn't want to lose that.
Right. One thing I want to point out is it says it will help Catholics find God. To me, God is experiential.
Yes.
God is relational. God is spirit and life and breath and joy and peace. And those are things that AI can't really create. It may help them find lessons. It may help them write a sermon, but is the heart, is God, is spirit going to be in that?
If what you want is legalism, this is probably perfect.
Exactly.
Because rules. And so if we're just data and information, this probably can't beat this.
Right.
But those of us who have a freer spirituality, we're interested in that anyway. We're trying to get rid of a lot of the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember early in seminary, I had a professor who said that this is the academy. This is where we are able to take all of that information that's out there in the books and everything and talk about it, discuss it, break it down, and see how it fits into what you understand and make it comfortable for you. So now I'm in another seminary and I'm an out gay preacher who my classmates thought of as a heretic.
Yeah.
As we went through our classes together, they began to understand that the facts and whatever they knew was not everything that existed, and that the interactions that we had helped them understand that there is a place in God's world for everybody. And I wonder if artificial intelligence can do that. Can it bring out the humanity? Can it bring out the sense that we are supposed to love God and love each other just as much as we love ourselves? And I don't know that a set, rigid standard can do that.
No, to the knowledge, you have to add empathy and creativity and imagination. And I think.
I mean, once in seminary, one of my fellow classmates was pontificating on, challenging us on not becoming lazy theologians. and what she
Lazier than this.
Yeah, and that was and that was what I was thinking. Like, I mean, she comes to mind when I read all about this. Some great stuff that's going on, but it's like, this just makes you want to become a lazy theologian. It gives you the opportunity not to do the work.
Yeah.
That needs to go into becoming the theologians, the prophetic speakers. This is just, to me, it's a lazy approach as to not. Just give it to me, and I'll do with it what I want to when I want to do with it, without the experience, without the application, without sitting around a table talking about it or expounding upon it. And then I can extrapolate what I need from the conversation to do it.
Now, some 30-year-old pansexual, non-binary, just all over the map, new type of person, who may be watching right now thinking that they have just tuned into tea time at the retirement home. What can we say? I mean, should we think about, like, because they're thinking, oh, AI can do so much, how great, how exciting, how Star Trek-y and Brave New World. I mean, should we feel a little challenged by them to think this a little differently, or should we stand our ground and say, nope, there's no replacing the human
I'm
spirit.
going back to a place where we all have our roots on some degree. This is a both and moment.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
This is a true both and moment. And I think it's an opportunity on both sides. And you said, this is so Star Trek-esque to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whatever the latest version of Star Trek, this is it.
Yeah.
Right.
Computer fly this whole thing for me. Okay.
Right.
And we're not saying that the tool is not something that we can use. What we're saying is that we want to go beyond the tool and make sure that we still put ourselves in it. Mm-hmm. I can go off on a tangent on this. We have a large group of people who are finding it difficult to socialize because they are so engrossed in whatever machine is in front of them. We have, us old fogies, a responsibility to say that there is a world beyond the AI. There's a world out there that you want to interact, you want to feel, touch, and understand someone else other than a machine. So it is a wonderful tool. Understand that it is a tool. One of many tools.
Yeah, someone might say, well, you looked up stuff in encyclopedias, you look up stuff on you'll Google things and find things, you'll look up things, and you'll go to databases yourself. How is this that much different? Maybe this is just easier, better. But what is kind of a little unsettling to me is I saw someone recently, they said, write a, I don't know, paragraph or something on a very specific topic, and it did, and it was completely coherent.
Yeah.
It was like a person wrote it.
Right.
And I don't know if that impresses me or disturbs me. I don't know, but it was good. It was a good thing that it wrote. It was really, really good.
I don't know if anyone would
It makes
recall this.
teachers crazy, though, because it makes plagiarism very hard.
Oh, my goodness,
Right.
yes.
Several years ago, it was experimented in a church where they had the robot preacher. I don't even remember the story now.
No,
and they attempted this, and it was like a trial. We want to try, the robot coming in and gives the sermon and everything, and of course it couldn't do the altar stuff. And that particular conversation said we would never go for something like this. Having a robot give the homily to us is not something I would come to church for. Because for them, it was about a relationship, it was about experience, and we have it in all different kind of ways. But I just remember that story many years ago when it was like being first experimented with, replacing the clergy with the robot, and I thought that'll never fly. And fast forward, now we have AI in a different kind of way doing things. So it was kind of R2D2ish.
But I love the both and idea.
Yeah.
We're not excluding anything. I'm just asking that we understand that there's more to life, more to religion, more to theology, more to who we are than just one thing. Both and.
Next up, we are excited to tell you about our next adventure with our Global Fellowship. In 2024, we will be going where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure you go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. And you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.
That's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and talk about what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally will go together, and we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.